also had a zip line. So Nora, Emmett, and I signed up for that zip line that morning. So we got set up after breakfast. You know, we had our worship, and then we went over to the first zip line of the day. So we went through, you know, the routine. We went through the safety orientation that the instructors were given. Then we took our time getting our harnesses all set up and fitted properly and got our helmets on. So Emmett, being the little fearless one that he is, he wanted to be the first one for the day. So he set up, went up through the ladders, went up to the top of the platform, about 30 feet off the ground. At that point, you know, the instructor guided him on what line to snap into, taking his safety line off and hooking another safety line onto him. And after, you know, 30 seconds of that, it was his turn. Now sit down, head over to the platform, just kind of scoot your bum out, hang your legs off the end of the platform. Hold onto the rope, don't take too much time. The more time you take, the more time you have to rethink what you're actually doing. So he sat there, and everybody's cheering him on. I'm at the bottom, you know, getting ready to videotape him. And, you know, we all set our count, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and couldn't go. And we took about 2 minutes to try and encourage him to go. At that point, the instructor said, all right, Emmett, you've had your time, we need to move on to somebody else. So he backed away, got unclipped, signed in, but he stayed up on the platform. At that time, a few more kids went out. And of course, they sat down and went, no problem. And then another kid, and another kid. Well, at that time, they decided to give him a second attempt. He clipped in, sat down, listened to everybody. He had seen what he had to do. And he didn't take his time. You know, he sat down, scooted right out, and away he went, hooting and hollering, screaming. And of course, then the chants, can I go again? Can I go again? So now, it's time for Nora and I to go up. And we climb up the ladders and step out onto the platform and follow the same safety routine, clipping in. Now Nora, I figured, being a little timider about these things, would want to see Papa go first and help her, you know, with just a little encouragement. I have to add that although this platform is about 30 feet off the ground, and it's built on 3 of the biggest telephone poles you have ever seen, when you're up there, it's still swaying around and moving with everybody. We dealt with that just fine. So now, it's my turn. I take one safety clip off, clip it on another guide wire, walk over to the instructor. He clips onto my harness. I take this safety line off. He clips another secondary safety line onto my harness. And now it's my turn to sit down on the platform. But now the culprit is starting to creep in. For me, just a tad. Maybe more than a tad. The logic of this whole process, it's incredibly safe. The cable is bigger around my thumb and can hold 13,000 pounds. The 2 guide ropes that attach you to this cable can hold up an elephant. Each one can hold an elephant. But as I sit down and cautiously move out, and I sit down and I dangle my feet off the end, I know in about 5 seconds, there is no way I'm going to do this. My anxiety went from about 30% when I sat down to my feet dangling over to 200%, and there's just no way. So I scoot back, and I knew I wasn't going to take the 2 minutes to try to decide and encourage myself to go. So I scoot back, and I feel, this doesn't make sense. I've told this story before. I've jumped out of a plane at 13,000 feet. I shouldn't be scared to do this. But I froze, and that thought of that initial drop and that initial slack being taken up, that 8 inches of rope was just too much for me to get over that day. So why do I tell this story? Well, wait, let me say one thing. So Nora, after seeing her Papa chicken out, heads on out, gets clipped in, and after about 30 seconds, she glides out and goes just like a champ and has a great time. And I was so proud of her because I really thought after seeing me step back, she wasn't going to be able to do it. So why do I tell this story? You see, for me, fear and anxiety are some of my worst enemies. Not the anxiety that you get from going out on that first date or having that first kiss, or the anxiety, the good anxiety that you have before you're going on a trip or you're getting married. That deep anxiousness that drowns out logic and reason, that drowns out the love of Jesus, that drowns out the love of Jesus telling us to live simply in that day and not to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow, after all, may never come. Over 100 times in the Bible, it references not to be anxious or afraid. Sometimes we have fear that's illogical. Sometimes we have fear of animals or bugs, namely spiders. The big hairy ones with the reflective eyes looking back at you. Ticks. Maybe it's mice. Fear is not always accepted. Is the fear of not, where you may have a fear of not being accepted, fear of not having a place to worship, fear of not performing well on a job, fear of someone finding out something about your past that you're not afraid of, and you're not proud of, rather. So I would like a couple of things to be more interactive. Would somebody mind reading Matthew 6:34?
So don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's struggle is enough for today. That's the New Living Translation.
We worry and fret ahead of time, but it's silly. How many times have you in your own life worried for no good reason, only to find something just drift away, to find that the resolution was already there ahead of time, and you worried for no good reason? I remember even in our group, worrying collectively over the concerns of the website and the Facebook pages, only to find that God had addressed the problem before we ever knew about it. In Matthew, just the verse before, in 33, stay in the moment and do it with God on your side, seeking Him first the kingdom of God. Sometimes there's anxiety that comes from a mob mentality. And here's a healthcare reference. So, for years, JCO, or Joint Commission on the Accreditation of Hospital Organizations, those inspections put me over the edge for years. Now they're called the Joint Commission. It's such arrogance. The TJC is coming. Better be afraid of what they're going to say about you. We need to pass this or else. That anxiety that comes with the rest of the organization, the rest of the mob, bringing, that feeding on each other for no good reason. It sucks the life and the peace out of what is typically a a good day, a good job, full of smiles, and hi, how are you, and laughter. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has given us not a spirit of fearfulness, but of power and love and discipline. So why are we afraid? And I tried to find this quote, and I apologize. I could not find the author, but the essence of it is nothing is so damaging to one's faith as a bad memory. We forget, just like the apostles did, who is standing by our side, who is in the boat with us. That with Jesus by our side, that storm can be ceased with only a word. See, some of our fears in life start with a broken relationship that we have with Jesus. They may start small or big, and they can grow as we let sin in. That sin of not being in alignment, relationship, and friendship with Jesus. That fear Adam and Eve knew when they fell the first time, hiding from Jesus, hiding from the Father, hiding from the Creator. So why else do we have fear and anxiety in life? If somebody would read John 10:10.
The thief comes not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly.
The devil is always at work to distract us, to distract you and I from the truth that Jesus is there to hold our hands and lead us through. Jesus is there to give encouragement and strength, to help us and those who are afraid, through his word and through speaking with him, through our time of prayer. Just like those of us leading our children and our friends and our family through the trials of life.